It's the Herbert Dennard, the Herbert Dennard Show.
Good day and welcome to the Herbert Dennard video podcast. The Herbert Dennard Show is back on the air, and I have one of my favorite guests, Elaine Lucas. Welcome.
Oh, well, thank you very much. It's great to be here with you.
So what I want to talk to you about, you've had medical issues, you've had health issues recently. I've had them myself. You know, I was in the hospital with heart problems.
Yeah.
And it scared me half to death. But you seem a lot more calmer than I was.
It's a scary thing because with health issues, you don't know what direction they're going in. All you know is that you've got something that's an immediate need and something that you've got to be concentrating on so that you can get better.
Tell me about leukemia. That's what I hear it is. That's the issues that you are facing right now.
Right. Leukemia is it's actually cancer of the blood. With me, I had a previous diagnosis and I was taking medication for that. And we just believe that sometimes when you're taking one medicine to kill off something that's bad, you end up with it killing off something that's good, like your red and white blood cells. And of course, you know, your red cells carry oxygen all over your body, keep your body going. And then your white blood cells fight off bacteria, viruses, all that kind of stuff to help you to not get sick. Off of anything that you come in contact with. So as a result of my treatment, I ended up with low counts as far as my red blood cells and the white blood cells. And this was after the treatment for the leukemia. And so I am now under a program where I go every day to the cancer care center, and I usually will get 3 shots each day, and that's to an additional shot from time to time that helps me to manufacture new white blood cells, which are still low, but the numbers are looking better. I have a doctor at Emory in Atlanta who is collaborating with the local doctor, Dr. Sumrall, and they are the kind of doctors that you really always want to have, and that's somebody who, whether they're interested in you personally or not, they act like it. Okay. So it is kind of hard to act, you know, but they seem like that I'm not just a patient, just another patient. They really seem interested. They check on me regularly, even when I'm just going in for treatment and I'm not seeing them or I see a nurse practitioner. They're still collaborating to make sure that they're making the very best decisions for me. And I appreciate it. My family and all my friends appreciate that as well. I just want to say to people, if there's something, pay attention to your body. You know how your body functions, and you know when things change. You know that you shouldn't have a headache every day, severe headaches or whatever. Not to say that that's what I had, but I'm just saying there's some people that are walking around with real extreme high blood pressure and with headaches all the time and feeling miserable, and they don't even go check themselves. You have men that end up with prostate cancer and they are walking around feeling bad. There are different bodily functions that they're normally a part of that they can't carry out. They know there's something going on. So I would just encourage everybody that if there's something going on, first of all, you need a physical every year. You need a physical, and there are certain tests that women need to have every year, men need to have every year. And then if there's something going on with your body, and your body will tell you when there's something wrong. Sometimes not, but most of the time there will be a change in something. And so you need to act on that. You don't need to ignore it. Because one of the problems with us as Black folks is that we ignore stuff. We and in the past we couldn't get the kind of medical attention that we needed to have, or there was somebody that treated us differently, or we had to be in a different waiting room and be served after all the white patients were served and things like that. We need to get past that. That is a fact. All that happened, but now we don't need to put off going to see a doctor. And if one doesn't work, find another one that you trust and feel comfortable with, and make sure that that doctor is working on your behalf. And I don't have a problem with Herbert with having white doctors if they're competent and they care. I don't have a problem with Black doctors if they're competent and they care. What I want is somebody who's going to take care of my medical needs. And so I have good doctors who are working on my behalf. Lots of medication, Herbert. I take probably about 15 pills each day.
Wow.
Some are vitamins and minerals that I take, and then some are multivitamins and vitamin B12, C, and D, which are supplements. But the other medicines to deal with the cancer, there are about 5 additional ones that I take. So on any given day, I have the shots at the clinic, and I also have about 15 tablets that I take. And it's a real adjustment. But if you want to get better, you will do what your doctors that you trust recommend for you to do. So that's where I am. I feel good. I know I have learned when to go and sit down and rest, watch some movies, watch court TV, watch the game shows, watch MSNBC, and take some time to just rest. And so I just want to thank all of those people who have been so kind. I would say 500, 600 people have called me. Those same people, some have brought me Boost, Ensure, Premier, the shakes, the meal replacement shakes, which have helped me so very much because all the time I don't feel like eating all the time. And then those who've sent me flowers, Forrest Johnson sent flowers. You remember, was it Mildred Bond, the hat lady? Who was the hat?
I think.
Her children sent me flowers. And I have received gift cards and get well cards from so many people. You don't know how grateful I am. And then the ministers and others who are prayer warriors have called me and have prayed for me. People have come to the school office and prayed for me. We formed a little prayer circle, and they have prayed for me. And just moving all over wherever I've been, people have stopped to say that they're in this with me, they're praying for me. And I am just eternally grateful because that is what has kept me going through this. Because you really do go through some emotional times when you learn that there's an illness that could be fatal. And you don't want it to be, but that's what stays on your mind all the time, that you could check out of here. and that means leaving family behind, friends, all of the activities that you have been involved in. But what you got to do is once you get past that, because of friends and family, always being positive and pushing you and comforting you, then you get to the point where you want to fight. You want to fight and do all you can so that you can remain here and continue to be a productive citizen, which is what I've always tried to be. Herbert, I've enjoyed serving all these years, and I'm enjoying, even with the illness, I'm enjoying serving. But I have issued a challenge. One of the reasons that I came out publicly to let people know that I had been diagnosed with leukemia was to let them know that I would not be able to go to everything that I've been going to. This regimen tires you out. Doing the things that you've done in the past, you get tired, and you have to limit your contact with people because your immune system is weaker and you're susceptible to catching things easier
That's
than
is
other.
that is that's why I see you out often. You have a mask on, and you
I
used
have
to
my mask
color
on.
with a mask on. Is that
Yes, I have my mask on. And I would encourage anybody and everybody, whether you're sick or not, to wear that mask, especially if you're in a crowd, because there's so many illnesses, so many germs, bacteria, viruses that are floating around, and you can't see them. So you end up getting sick. So this time of year, especially when the flu and colds and this RSV, all of these things are out there, you probably would be smart to wear your mask, especially in crowds. But yes, um, I wear a mask in most situations, try and keep it on all the time so as to protect myself from any germs, viruses, or whatever that might be out there. And if I don't come and hug you or whatever, if I wave to you from across the room, you just understand that it is just a precaution. But I am so grateful for so many good people who have said wonderful things and who have been on my side and who are still praying for me. But I'm going to continue working. The work is not done. We've got elections coming up that are ongoing now. And next year, we have a lot of elections. And I came forward with this diagnosis because I wanted people to be reminded that we got some tough times that we're going through.
Hello, this is Dan Sims, Superintendent of the Bibb County School District. Your life has tremendous value, and in order for you to find that value, you have to keep it moving. So if and when anything gets in your way or distracts you from finding your value in life, please just walk away.
I'm Herbert Dennard with Changing Mindsets, encouraging you. Just walk away. So you take all of these pills, they take your strength, or they make you tired, make you want to sit down? 'Cause I
Sometimes
noticed you was
I
at
get a
one-
little tired and a little sleepy. And so, yeah, but when you are ill, when you have an illness, you need to reassess all the things that you're doing anyway. And you need to decide when you're going to call it a day and not go to that one more meeting or take that one more phone call and take it to the house and lay it down. That's what you got to do sometimes.
around your house. Are you still cooking that good food that you can cook, or do you let your husband and your son chip in and they be cooking for you?
I cook from time to time. Since our boys got grown, left home, I didn't cook as much anyway. But my husband, my friends, children, they will come by and bring food. Friends will recommend healthy vegetables, healthy, delicious vegetables that I can get and bring to the house. And so we are eating healthier, all of us. And I do have a whole village that's helping me so that I don't, um, and I can cook, Herbert.
Yeah.
I can.
My wife used to cook when the family was there.
Uh-huh.
My one daughter and two boys. But when they left the house and it was just she and I, she kind of cut off on the cooking end.
You know what happens? You end up cooking for the whole crowd, just like are conditioned to do. And you end up with a whole lot of extra food and it ends up being wasted because folks don't eat leftovers but for so many times. And your food is spoiled and you throw it away. So the best thing is just to find you some delicious, clean, uh, um, food, something that you enjoy, a variety, and then buy that and have that at home for you. And usually it's one other person. In our case, it's two of us. So that's what I do. But I stress clean, healthy vegetables, baked meats, those kinds of things that are really beneficial and help you to remain healthy and strong.
How about fried chicken and pork chop?
I like fried chicken from time to time, but I also like baked chicken and I like fish. And I'm not a big steak eater, so I don't, eat steak that much or burgers, but I do like the chicken and fish.
When you found out you had leukemia, uh, did you go into prayer or how did you feel? How did you react?
There's a little bit of depression that comes because that this could mean the end of your life. And that's where you go to begin with. Your thoughts they go from 0 to 100, and you're depressed for a few days. But I know that depression can kill you. If your mind is not together, if it's not right, if it's not going in a positive direction, you can help yourself to check on out of here. So after those few days of feeling down and depressed, I said, okay, there is something that can be done. My doctors are suggesting a treatment plan. And so I got rid of those down feelings. From time to time, I do feel a little, you say, well, I mean, you go through that, but you have to get past that and move on. I've always been positive, and I've always, as a counselor, encouraged others to be positive about the loss of family members, deaths in the family, tragedies, all the things, health issues that confront all of us. And so I said to myself, if I could get through the death of my son, and we got through my mother and my father and my mother's passing, the passing of my nephew, um, um, uh, I figure I could get through this as well. And so you have to have a positive attitude, and those friends and family who always encourage me, they continue to do that. So I'm able to handle it, and I'm getting better. And so I know if I want to continue attending meetings and fighting for the rights of people, then I need to do this and have a positive attitude. And I have, and I'm going to continue with it for as long as I have. I am continuing to be a servant leader working on behalf of people who might not know how to work on their own behalf or might not have the courage to do it. And I think there's some of us that are called on to do that kind of thing, and I'm going to continue doing it.
You know, I remember back in 1968
Oh,
when,
here we go.
when
Here we go.
you had just, I'm gonna do you justice. You had just finished high school
Right,
and you decided to go to Macon College.
right.
I had just got out of the Vietnam War and I got out. I was 4 years there, and I decided to go to Macon College, and we met there.
Yeah.
I remember one thing in particular. Both of us, we had taken up the course of sociology, and you had finished your course, your papers and everything, and they looked so well. You had them all typed up nice, and they looked so well. Mine was just scribbled on a piece of paper and everything else. And the teacher, our professor, gave you a B, and you was mad.
I certainly was.
And they gave me a C, and I was glad. I was working at the railroad, and you was there, and we both went into the professor's office, and you gave them everything you could give them, telling them why you deserved a higher grade. And I was just happy with my C. But anyway,
I was not happy with that B because I had done a lot of work and it double checked and everything. And I felt that I deserved an A on it. And I gave all the reasons why I should have an A. And the professor saw the light and changed the grade to an A. You probably should have done that because I'm sure, even though yours might have been scratched out, the content probably was excellent. And so you probably should have fought for a B, Herb.
you know, after I had been up not all night, I was just working and going to school. It was tough. I was glad for the C.
Yeah, yeah.
But you showed me that day how smart you were. You showed me on that occasion how you would fight for what you believed in. And we became friends.
Yeah, yeah.
And,
We formed Black Student Unification, the first Black organization at Macon Junior College, which is now Middle Georgia State. That organization is still in operation, Herbert. They still meet, from what I understand, have officers and have projects.
they had a lot of things going on at that time at Macon College, but there was very, very few Black people, not any.
You're right.
It
There
was
was one professor, I believe, one Black professor.
after we raised all that sand,
Yes, yes,
they and they were maids, they were cooks, that kind of thing, and we
right.
protested, and they hired Black folk.
That's right. That's right. That was our first accomplishment. We
Right.
went and took the flag down too. You remember that? You just had the murder of all those students at Kent State. They were protesting something. So around all the college campuses, organizations were paying tribute to those students by lowering the flag. And so a few of us brave souls went up to the flag in front of the administration building, and we lowered that flag. And of course, the security came out. They were watching for us. They came out, and then we dispersed. And that's when you could tell who had courage and who didn't. Some of those folks that were with us dispersed very quickly.
Absolutely. But you went off and finished yours, and you went to Savannah State.
Right.
And I went to Fort Valley State.
The Fort Valley.
Fort Valley. And then years later, after you had completed your time at Fort Savannah and got your graduation, you returned to Macon, and I was taking my two kids, my two children, I was taking them to see the parade, Christmas parade. and you was there. I think you was taking one of your nephews or
I had two nieces with me.
and you was taking them there. And while we was there watching the parade together, a guy walked around the corner with a big cowboy hat on. He walked up to me and said, "Who is this beautiful woman?" "Herbert Dennard, I know you're married. And if you was cheating, you wouldn't be out front like this." Something like that. "What is her name?" And I said, "This is Elaine Huckabee." And he looked at you, and you looked at him, and he looked at him again, and his name was David Lucas.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm standing here, and they know nobody's looking at me.
But every time you tell this story, you embellish it somewhat.
But what happened is you and David married.
Right.
And everything, that was a happy ending.
Yeah.
But I like to tell that story.
That's 49 years. That's 49. That was 50 years ago, because we dated for about a year before we got married. So yeah, that was 50 years ago, Herbert. I appreciate you making that introduction.
Right. And you guys lived happily ever after.
Yeah.
Hello, this is Sheriff David Davis reminding you, don't be the one who doesn't see another day. Don't be the one who gets carried away. Please just walk away.
Sometimes we're not prepared for intense arguments. Sometimes we should just walk away and get out of a violent situation. I'm Herbert Dennard with Changing Mindsets, encouraging you, just walk away. And later on, you ran for city council and won.
Right.
And you was there forever. It turned out you ended up being a commissioner. And now you're a water authority member.
Right.
Do you plan to keep running? I know you, with your illness and everything, you think you're going to seek re-election?
I do
thought about it.
I do plan to seek re-election as long as I'm on an upward trajectory. I hope to continue to improve, but I do have to be careful, and I will be guided by what my doctors say and about how I feel. But there is so much work to be done. And Herbert, just like we have paved the way for a number of other people, we've made it easier for them. They don't have to go through some of the stuff that we went through in trying to register people to vote. We were threatened with arrest and all kinds of stuff. So I would encourage people, though, to get involved. We need some folks.
Right. I think they tried to sick dogs on you, too.
Yeah. Yeah.
While you was registered to vote. I think they wanted to lock you up, too.
We were registering voters in Pleasant Hill, going door to door. And at that time, they had regulations that you couldn't go door to door to register. Can you imagine that? And so we were out there, of course, we were registering voters, and we ended up with the police showing up. Folks called the police on us. And I can just recall a whole lot of things that we all went through. You, me, Henry Ficklin, a number, Thelma Dillard, all of us were out there. Believe it or not, we were young at one point. And we were out there and we were actively involved, and we took some real chances. And now it's time for folks to stop complaining about stuff and get it in gear and get into action, because we have got to have a village coming along behind us that's going to pick up the work. There is plenty of work to do, and discrimination is more sophisticated now. They're institutionalizing racism and keeping resources away from Black and brown folks in order for them to be in leadership positions. And so we can't do anything fighting against each other. So we keep on fighting. We do the enemy's work. We have got to pull together, see what the mission is, and carry it out. And I'm especially talking about our young leaders who somehow have been brainwashed into thinking that we older folks have to move out of the way in order for them to take on leadership. We can do this stuff together. We can do this stuff together, but we want you to step up and not just do talking. We want to see you do some walking.
But what I want to see, and I tell you this all the time, I want you to take care of Elaine Lucas. It's a tough fight you're fighting, and you've been in tough fights before. But we are pulling for you, and we want to help you in any way we can. But
y'all are already helping with your prayers, your well wishes, saying positive things, sending me cards. All of that is just wonderful. And I just want to publicly express appreciation to everybody who's made contact with me. Thank you so very much.
We never talk about this often, but are you a religious person?
Yeah, I am a 40-year member of my husband's church, which is historic Stewart Chapel AME Church downtown, where Dr. King spoke at one time, Mary McLeod Bethune spoke at one time, Dr. Benjamin Mays, renowned educator, spoke. Stewart Chapel needs people to come and help. Yes, I attend Stewart Chapel. I love the church, and we're working as hard as we can with our pastor, Dr. Wanda West, to keep that church in place and active and alive. But we need everybody's help to keep it alive. That historic church that's over 150, I believe it's 165 years old.
You believe in the power of prayer?
I do. I do believe in the power of prayer. It has helped to get me through so many things. And I do believe that that's part of the reason that I'm seeing progress.
Okay. And so the regiment that you're on it for how
long? It's kind of indefinite. Every week I'm getting blood work done to see where I am as far as the health of my system. And so I'm guided by what those tests show and how effective the medicine is. And so I'll just give everybody updates, but right now I am improving.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah is right.
I'm glad you stopped by, Elaine Lucas.
Thank you for letting me come by.
Look at, I always include the Huckabee because when I met you, you was Huckabee. Until that guy walked around with that cowboy hat on, and he looked at you, and you looked at him, and he looked at you, and you looked at him.
He was kind of handsome now.
You said about how many years? Married?
We've been married 49 years.
Next year's the big 50.
Next year's the 50. I gotta hang around for that.
Well, I appreciate you. I appreciate the school that you operate.
Yeah.
You have changed the lives of people. I say this often, and you've been in so many civil rights movements and everything else, but I think where you really hit the mark when you opened the school. And you have how many people? We
have had 2,000 to graduate with their high school diploma from an accredited school.
And I think that you left an impact.
They're doing wonderfully.
I watched them graduate. I watched their eyes, their faces, and they are happy. They have accomplished so much. And the person that made it happen was Elaine Lucas.
Well, me and a lot of other people, and I thank you for your support.
Okay. Thanks a lot for stopping by. And I'm so glad to have had this opportunity for you to be on this show, the Herbert Dennard podcast.
Thank you. It's an honor.
It's It's the Herbert Dennard, Herbert Dennard, the Herbert Dennard
Thank you
Show.
for watching the Herbert Dennard Show. For more information on the Just Walk Away initiative, follow us, like and share our content. Lock in with us. Join the initiative by following us on all social media platforms. Search Just Walk Away, Middle GA. Special thanks to the amazing Elaine Lucas, a true trailblazer and lifelong servant to our community. From her early days as a civil rights activist, to her years as a city councilwoman, and now as a dedicated member of the Water Board, Elaine has never stopped fighting for justice, progress, and the people of Macon-Bibb. Elaine, you have given so much of yourself for this community, and now it's our turn to stand with you. We at the Just Walk Away Middle GA initiative want you to know that we're praying for your strength, your healing, and your continued impact. You are not in this fight alone. Just like us, the community stands behind you, grateful, inspired, and united. Thank you for all you've done, all you're doing, and all you will continue to do. You are the very definition of what a true community leader should be.